Hey everybody, welcome back for a special Tuesday edition of World of Warships. Yeah, so this is going to be the best battle to date in my ARP Takao, and I'm divisioned up with Thunder Nugget in his North Carolina. You can see over there on the upper left. I re-recorded this one from the replay just because during the live battle we were talking on the voice comms, but I didn't record my separate audio voice track, so you could only hear him talking. So, just redid it from the replay. There's not a whole lot of loss of comms, it was mostly just us talking about what we were shooting at. And the jitteriness there with the torpedo track, that's a thing with the replay. You'll see a couple other kind of weird screen anomalies from the replay system for World of Warships. It just started doing it recently. It was really... the replay was really nice. It still works really well. I mean, it has all the typing chat and everything, and still, like, has all your view changes and all that, it's fine. But there's some weird, jittery, kind of glitchy video things that you'll see throughout the video. At any rate, this was a few days ago, just after the start of December. And you'll see it was during the the Arpeggio of Blue Steel final December event where you can get all the Arpeggio of Blue Steel ships up to date, get all of them. So this was where I finished the very first level, which will get me the ARP Kongo, which I did not have yet. As of the time I'm recording the narration for this video, I haven't really progressed past this because I've had a couple of really busy days at work. So, I look forward to progressing farther and getting all the extra captains you get from the event this month, and also getting the Miyoko. And then the two other captains that you couldn't already get, except for this video, that you get with the completion of the event. So, looking forward to all that.
Enemy force detected.
Got detected here, wasn't sure what it was. Turned the sonar on just to make sure it wasn't a destroyer who had snuck in towards B. The detection range on Takao was pretty big, so it wasn't really surprising to have been detected. But just the same, I wasn't exactly sure if I was going to run into a destroyer and this video was going to end real fast, or this battle. Ran into a York instead. Got some pretty good shots in on him. Just not those shots. You'll see. Punched some torpedoes off at him and then tried to just keep myself inside the capture zone because I hadn't been hit to lose any of the capture points yet. Though I was getting shot at. Lost quite a bit of capture points there to the Pensacola that hit me. But I did manage to pay him back slightly by setting him on fire. So mostly just kind of working on capturing the point here. And somehow he's still on fire. I don't know why he hadn't extinguished the fire yet. But if you want to let me get burn damage, that's fine. So I'm trying to line up here for a torpedo run on this York again, and assuming that he was coming in closer, but if you look at the minimap, he's on the backside of the island. During the actual gameplay, I wasn't paying attention to the minimap, I was just focusing on him. So that as soon as he appeared around the corner, I'd be able to fire torpedoes at him, but of course, he wasn't coming that way, so... get both my sets of torpedoes off the right-hand side there, and then I'm going to kind of sail away over towards C a bit. So really didn't think I had any chance whatsoever there. He was turning away, shying away from my torpedoes, and another Takao was moving into position, so I stopped paying attention to him. Right there. And you can see the kind of ghosting glitches there with the replay. Didn't think I had any chances. Stopped watching. And then nailed him with a torpedo. Finished him off. So 1 kill, fairly decent amount of damage. He'd been knocked down pretty far by the other Takao, but my torpedoes caught him, or he caught my torpedoes. So right about here, Thunder Nugget called and asked me for help to deal with a Amagi that's closing in on him, and if you see on the mini-map, he's basically about to go nose to nose with the Amagi, so I tried to get turned around this island and get over there to help him. But it's pretty much not going to work just because of the distance I'm having to travel and the terrain I have, well, the obstacles I have to sail around these islands right here. I'm just not fast enough and maneuverable enough to haul it about, and if you see him on the mini-map there at B, he is right nose to nose with him. So you can see shots coming in, and they were just merged on the minimap. I could not get around the corner to give him any assistance around this island right here. But if you watch, he actually rammed him and survived the ram. He had enough HP to survive the ram, which was pretty funny. Of course, you can see how much health he has after that. Left over after surviving a ram by another battleship. And while he was recovering health, he wasn't able to recover health fast enough and took some torpedoes from a hipper, and unfortunately that was that. I just couldn't get to him in time to help him out at all. So we've got a 1-ship lead so far at this point in the battle. Still pretty much anybody's game, although we've got a fairly decent score lead. That could get reversed pretty quickly if we lose a couple ships. Took down a plane there that I'm not honestly sure where it came from.
Our team has taken the lead.
I got one final salvo of torpedoes off to try to lead on that Takao. And the final torpedo I'd fired from the previous salvo actually hits him, causes flooding, and he doesn't have repair. Which is nice. You'll notice the damage score ticking off up there on the upper right as a full health Colorado comes into view. And from a far enough distance out, I'm going to try to start the engagement on the Colorado with HE rounds, get him on fire, try to get him to burn his repair, and then either set him on fire again or hit him with torpedoes. Whatever works. Missed a bit with one shot, but the second salvo, thankfully, was able to start a fire, so goal achieved there. Now I'm going to just keep reloading HE for now and keep spamming HE onto him to set him on fire. See if I can get some good fire damage going. Damage still climbing from the Takao torpedo hit. And there's the Takao flooding out for the second kill of the battle. Now this Colorado really made a poor choice and sailed where I've got a great trap on him where I can fire torpedoes. And the AFK Akatsuki from the beginning of the battle who I sailed past finally joins the battle. And I get some nice, massive damage on the Colorado, and he would have flooded out, excepting that the Akatsuki caught him with his torpedoes, which was fine. Except that could have very easily been my third kill. And would have been my third kill if there had been nobody else around. And luckily for me, there was a rocky outcropping there, because that torpedo was going to come pretty close to my fantail otherwise. I certainly would have survived it, but I didn't really need to take 10 or 13,000 points of HP damage. So, quite a swing in the score there, as we lost 0 ships, while they just lost all the way down to 3. Quite a turn in the fortunes and the tide of the battle. Also, quite a bit of damage and otherwise score flags achieved there for me. Pretty good. So I've had a couple of good battles in the Takao. They haven't all been bad by any means, but this was the kind of single most do everything, win all my engagements without running into too much trouble from the enemy, using terrain masking and stuff like that to not take massive amounts of damage, so not bad at all. Now I didn't know where the enemy destroyer was left. I could see the 2 battleships, so fired up the acoustic search again just to make sure that he wasn't going to be giving me a surprise at A. But according to our team, the enemy destroyer was back by the enemy battleships. So, not really a big concern. Captured the point over at A. And I'm going to try to sail down around, get around the islands to go help out our team with the enemy battleships and destroyer there. But there's an awful lot of gigantic, tall rocks sticking up out of the ocean that I'm just not going to have a chance to shoot over or get around. I've just got to get all the way around it. Besides the fact that I'm well out of my firing distance for where those battleships are. They're easily about 5 to 10 kilometers past. Where I can actually reach, unfortunately. So trying to get around the islands and move myself within firing distance, but as you can see, the tickets are very quickly climbing up towards 1,000 since we control all the points. So from here on out, it's pretty much just a matter of, am I going to beat the clock around the island? And of course you can see at this point, no, I'm not going to beat the clock around the island. We are going to tick over to 1,000. And that's going to be it. So as you can see here, I finished the first round of the Arpeggio Challenge. Had a pretty good score there. Took a first place. Not too bad at all. Very big score with the first place. You see all the damage here I did. Quite a bit of decent amounts of damage on 3 of the 4 guys that I damaged. And a really big final score with a 3,000 XP multiplier. And there she is. My new pretty prize from the end of the results of the battle. Hope you guys like this one. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by and checking it out. And don't forget to check out the social media links in the description and subscribe and like.